Hey, welcome back to the Conversion Clinic. In this video, I'm going to show you how I save tens of hours every single week answering email using AI. So I'm going to show you my custom script that I use and how you can set it up yourself. And in the description below, I'll add in the script for you so that you can shortcut the process. So a big problem when you're answering emails is you might find that they're a bit complicated to respond to. You might not have the mental bandwidth for that day. Let's say, for example, a client's asking you for a quote on something, or they're telling you to respond to some grievance or something like that, and you're just like, you're not mentally there, and you just can't be bothered to answer that email, or, you need a bit more time to think. So here's how you can use AI in a very strategic way. So normally what I do and how this works is I build this script on ChatGPT. I take a screenshot of the actual email that I received or that I need to send, and then I'll use a dictation tool, like I use Mia GPT, I think it's called, to dictate to the GPT on what to do. So for example, you can see all of these words I've basically spoken out loud, right? Using this dictation tool, and then this GPT writes it in a way that I like to write. It writes the email in a very positive way. So how do I do this? I use what's called a custom GPT. And so I basically program it with these instructions that I'll give you in the description below. And basically I give it some examples and things that basically give it the tone of voice, I should say, that I like to use for my emails, so that it's consistent in the way that I like to respond to clients. This works for both email and Slack and pretty much any communication that you can think of. Let me show you how I do this. So you get the concept. I basically add a screenshot of what I want to respond to, and then I dictate to how I want to respond to this email or whatever, and then it will write the email for me. I copy and paste that and use that and edit it slightly, of course. How you create this? Basically, you'll go into ChatGPT. I have a paid account. I'm not sure if you can do this with a free account. Double check yourself. But basically, go to this little Explore GPTs button. From here, you want to go on the Create area, and you can create your own custom GPT. So what you're going to do is name it to something memorable, like, email assistant or whatever, like I have here. And then you're going to copy and paste the instructions that I have, but obviously edit. Like, you don't want my name in there. You want your own kind of background and what you do and all this kind of stuff. You might want to tweak some of the settings that I've got so that it sounds like you. Maybe you want to write a little bit more formally and authoritative and professional. I'm very informal, and I like to write really conversationally in tone and stuff like that, right? And there's certain ways that I like to write. Sometimes I like emojis, sometimes I like exclamation marks, but not too many, etc. So you're going to copy and paste those into the actual instructions here. From there, in the capabilities area, just untoggle the image generation and toggle the code interpreter. Now, sometimes you'll need to add in screenshots and copy and paste screenshots into the GPT, and sometimes you'll need the code interpreter for that. At least that's what I think through a lot of testing. And then the web browsing, sometimes I'll add that in there as well. So that's pretty much everything. From there, you just make sure you add the rest of the details, add an image to the GPT if you want, and that's pretty much everything, just in a few minutes. Hit create, start testing the previews. So for example, I might give you a real run through on what this looks like. Okay, so I've found an email, and I'm going to screenshot each one of the email flows so that I can train this GPT on what the conversation has been so far. Okay, so from here, I've added an entire email flow on the conversation, and our only job right now is to basically tell this GPT on what the conversation was about and how I want to respond. It might be a very difficult conversation. This is a very easy one, and normally wouldn't use it for this one. But let's say, for example, we're going through this email. I'm trying to hire a video editor. They're going to come back to me on Monday. Let's say it's Monday now. I want to respond to this video editor and basically just say that, great, I'll look forward to seeing their, feedback later this afternoon, something like that. You hit there and it's good to go. And basically it will scan the screenshots. It will take what I've got into consideration. Sometimes you'll need to, guide it in the right direction. But this is pretty much it. Super easy. It's going to come back to me in a few minutes. So as you can see, it's written a really quick response. And, we didn't really need to do this, but it's written it in the way that I like to write. And so you can imagine how you might apply this to proposal contracts that come through, to difficult employee or staff conversations or client conversations you might have, or anything that's really taking up a lot of your mental bandwidth. This will help you save tens of hours every single week. So I hope that was helpful. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.